Hi, this is Chuck Allard. Welcome to this week's Hidden Wealth Solution Review. Well, I want to talk to you about where your retirement planning can be in getting it protected and the importance of that and getting that done early in 2023. So there's an article I talk about on Hidden Wealth Radio. It was interesting. It's out of Barron's, and it's the stock market needs to stop worrying about the Fed and think about this instead. And here's what I want to kind of share with you. One of the analysts from Morgan Stanley had shared this, and I thought it made a lot of sense. It said, instead of being focused, right, with pinning the hopes on the decline of the Fed stopping these interest rate increases, this ignores, as this gentleman says, the ramifications of falling prices on profit margins for companies, right? The very companies that you and I have in our retirement portfolio, right, that support, right, our account values so that we can retire and draw money off of our accounts. And I think this is interesting because this is another one of those scenarios kind of hoping to see the forest through the trees. So having this goal or dreaming about later this year that the Fed stops all this crazy interest rate rising, the lower inflation would mean smaller price increases and negative for company sales. Now, I understand we consume just like you consume. We don't want people just pushing up their prices and pushing up their prices. But here's the impact when you really think about it. The Fed is also trying to rein in price increases by cutting into demand. Now, this is where it impacts all of us. So the quantity of goods sold may well have declined by the time inflation is significantly lower. Here's the point. Reduced business sales will probably weigh on profit margins. Many companies have some fixed costs, so lower sales make businesses less profitable. So think about your thinking. With all this emphasis of don't fight the Fed, stop the Fed from raising interest rates, and it's raining havoc over a lot of people's retirement. Many of you that we've spoken to are down 25%. I want to teach you this Tuesday at retirementprotected.com. That's retirementprotected.com, how to forget about the Fed, how to take advantage of a choppy market through indexing, and teach you how to do that tax-free. One of the other things I talked about on Hidden Wealth Radio this weekend were the 5 biggest threats to retirement. One is the looming recession that we're dealing with right now. Some people think we'll have one. 70% of economists predict we will. I would tell you we're in a recession. And many people are projecting it's going to get worse. Higher interest rates, just like we talked about there. Again, here's the point. Everyone's putting the emphasis on interest rates. Outdated retirement withdrawals, right? So thinking you could safely take out 4%. Unfortunately, that's not the case anymore. It's more like 2% these days. If you're in traditional retail brokerage accounts. And then postponing taxes until retirement. This is where, again, finally someone starts talking about taxes in relationship to the biggest threats. The first time I've seen taxes in any of these biggest threat type of reports. And lastly, outliving your savings, which taxes have a direct and indirect impact on that. So here's the opportunity. Go to retirementprotected.com. That's retirementprotected.com. And let me teach you in particular how to get the IRS out of your retirement income, how to get Uncle Sam out of your inheritance, how to avoid the concerns of this inflation. One strategy I'll talk to you about that's been the top growth sector for 2 years, and they project it'll be even better growth sector for the next 2 years, is averaging yields between 14 and 21%. But it also comes with up to around a 75, 80% tax deduction that many people are using to reduce their taxes when we're helping them do converting their IRAs to Roth IRAs. So this way, instead of you having to be shy or let's say hesitant to get your money untaxed because of having this big tax bill, use the tax code that our tax team teaches you on how to create a deduction that offsets those taxes so that the tax code offsets the taxes. You don't have to pay them. Folks, you've worked hard for your money. Let's get to work. Retirementprotected.com, retirementprotected.com, and learn how your retirement and where it can be safely and without unnecessary taxation in 2023. Retirementprotected.com, retirementprotected.com.